Hello, good afternoon. This is Ronald Bird coming to you with Style Speaks in downtown Washington, D.C., specifically at Eastern Market on Barracks Road. I have a really special guest waiting to talk to you today. His name is Mr. Kevin Hughes. Mr. Hughes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ronald Bird. It's a pleasure.
All right. Thanks for taking your time out today to talk to me with Style Speaks. You feeling good today?
Absolutely, man. I'm feeling great, brand new group.
Well, this guy, I didn't tell you how to come dressed, but you actually are wearing the colors of the season of black and white, and I think I didn't have to tell you that.
Okay.
But obviously, you're looking real sharp in your black and white today.
I thank you.
Tell everybody where you're from, Kevin.
Actually, I'm a Washingtonian, born and raised here, southeast, south side.
Okay.
But actually, I claim the whole D.C. area.
Claim all of D.C., right?
Absolutely.
All your home. Well, have you always lived here? Did you ever live anyplace else? Have you been here all your life?
Outside of Washington, D.C., I have lived in Atlanta, actually Georgia, and Kennesaw, Marietta, and Cobbs County.
Okay.
And, you know, the DMV area, Virginia, Maryland. Right now, I'm relocating out in Chantilly.
Okay. So, well, how long have you been back to the Washington metropolitan area?
Roughly over, let's say, a good 5 years.
Okay.
5 years I've been back.
Wonderful.
Back home.
Okay. Well, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Go away too long. I went away and came back for a little bit too, so I miss home, mama's here, and all that kind of good stuff. So
Absolutely.
definitely. Well, in talking about the business, I know you have a lot of businesses going on. You're an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to speak on some of those specifically. But in relation to style and fashion, we see you're a very fashionable, fashion-forward gentleman. How does looking good and style relate to and help you be successful being an entrepreneur?
Well, it starts with the attitude, I must say. You know, you have to have a creative mindset to actually really, coordinate some things. And one thing that I do know about my backyard here in Washington, D.C., we do have a reputation of coordinating. And, we really keep it simple. And once upon a time, D.C. was known to be a well-dressed, city. And,
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
It's different than thinking and knowing. Okay. So other than that, I just want to keep it simple. Yes, I do love, dressing because it shows a lot about your personality.
Well, how does that? Well, it does show a lot about your personality, but how do you incorporate that? You think obviously you deem it important in your line of work and being able to deal with people and how you present yourself. So how has that deemed best for you in your profession?
It deemed very well. One thing that I was taught at a young age, your appearance, your dress, your wear, dictates and determine the altitude of your success.
Okay.
Because people, let's keep it 100. When a person look at you, they can say what they want to say. They look at your tie, your makeup, and then they go further in, sitting down and having a conversation. That's when you open up the doors in other areas.
Okay.
But for the most part, the first attraction is actually starting from what do you have on.
Okay.
That's the society that we live in.
Okay.
People could, create this illusion like it doesn't exist, but yes, they do.
People, and I guess to suffice that to say, people do judge you based on how you look and if they even want to do business with you.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, well, what do you think you have gotten everybody has people who have had people in their life that they kind of mimic, an uncle or cousin. What do you think you've gotten your sense of style from?
Wow, that's good. I've never been asked that question, but
I like that.
Honestly, I just always loved, dressing, and it wasn't so much me being so consistent with it, but I just love, putting on some nice threads, I would say, making sure that I have a shirt, button up, because my mother raised us in dress shoes and little slacks and dress shirts, and I guess that's where it extends from. But I had some good line of men in my family, starting with my father. He was a well-dressed person. My uncles, and
a lot of role models in the fashion department that you could take some.
Yes, but I can't pinpoint in saying that I was so captivated, attracted to, some of the great icons of fashion.
Okay.
Because I had it in my family.
Okay.
So that's where it really, extend from.
Okay. Well, how do you classify your style of dress? And we're going to talk personal in a minute, but being an being an entrepreneur, having to deal with the general public. I mean, how would you deem if you had to ask yourself that question? This is casual, a little fly, a little elegant, or you like suits? You dress real nice for the interview today, but typically, is this sort of like what we would expect for you on a business day?
Basically, if I'm out conducting business, yes, if nothing else, you're gonna catch me on with some slip-on, a shirt, a tie.
Okay.
And it's nothing to overwhelmingly, but
right.
yes, you're gonna catch me with the basic.
Okay.
The shirt and tie, just some slip-on, some high heels. Me personally, how do I classify myself? Well, I would say I'm a trendsetter, more so of a trend follower.
All right, you better talk.
Now, I do respect every man's,
Individual style.
Okay. But I truly say for so many years, I have been complimented based on, my tie.
Okay. Well, how do you, in keeping with that, how do you rate DC as being? I mean, you actually spoke to that earlier. At once upon a time, or a period of time where DC was classified as a very fashionable place to be. Today, as you move about in your travels and your businesses that you maneuver through, what do you see? I mean, how do you characterize what you see on the streets of DC?
Well, let me say this here. I'm gonna have to respect everybody where they at, and
No, I want your honest opinion. Do you think we look bad, or do you think DC got it going on? We got a lot of work to do on that scale. I mean,
we actually lost it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and paint no picture like we still got it going on. We actually lost it.
Okay.
How? That's for a therapist of some kind that deals with the therapeutic aspect of how we lose something and to recover that.
Okay.
So, man, Lord, I looked at my young men today, and I have nothing against, you want to wear tennis shoes, a tie, and all the other ties that is the rugged wear.
Right.
And the hip hop wear,
right.
But please get more conservative, because it helps you develop an attitude, sense of professionalism.
Right.
And that's why I think that our young men is missing. You have to obey your thirst when it comes to your attire. You really do. So, I just say we
got some work to do.
We really do. We really do.
We got some work to do. Well, I definitely concur. I mean, I talk to many people in my interviews, and it's very interesting to me to hear people's, insight on that. A lot of people kind of think, and like in comparison to New York. Of course, we're not New York, but a lot of people tend to feel that we have a lot going on, and it's a very eclectic town. A lot of fashion-forward people here. A lot of people who demonstrate various looks and styles that are positive. But then you have people who, think we really look kind of bad, and we've kind of like lost that whole. But I mean, styles have changed too. So that whole hip hop kind of era, and the way the young guys dress or whatever. It's just about personal taste. But I guess if we can all accent our own personal style, but I mean, it's interesting to hear your viewpoint on that.
Well, once upon a time, if anyone is out there, looking at this clip here, and they know about the creation of AKA Chocolate City, Washington, D.C., we was known for dressing to impress. When you go out to any of our functions, if nothing else you see on the flyer, you're going to see in a fine print, not in a small, but the fine print, dressed to impress.
Right.
And, it's like,
everything now is just kind of like,
it's whatever you want, whatever you do, and I respect that.
Right.
But please understand this here: you're not going to be honestly respected in a lot of areas.
Right.
We have to understand that people wants to look at the cleanness. Right. And they say, your tie is somewhat in a reflection of your.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about some of, we talked a little bit about your professional views and your personal views. I mean, when you're not working your 9 to 5, or or how whatever your hours are, and you're just kind of doing Kevin's thing, how would you normally look? What's your style?
Well, basically, you know, I love
I
somebody.
mean, we know you're gonna look
Yeah.
good, whatever it is.
I
but
thank
do you? I mean, some people really just don't break it down and dress down. Some people, I mean, I know guys who really don't wear jeans and they kind of keep it fresh all the time. Or, you know, you seem like the type of guy who likes to dress up. So, I mean, is that fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It is. Honestly, I love to wear. You know, I love to put it on, but for the most part, I have grew.
Okay.
You know, I make sure that I do look presentable. You know, clean. You know.
Okay.
And
Well, he smell good. He definitely clean.
well, I thank you. I thank you. But for the most part, if I'm not dressed up in my shirt and tie, you know, I got on a nice V-neck. Okay, I got on some nice jeans and some slip-ons, maybe a pair of tennis shoes. But it's just all about how you just coordinate it, how you put it on.
Right.
So, you know, if I'm not doing no business meetings and things of that nature, actually I'm dressed down, and I'm just doing me. You know, I'm just doing me.
Well, tell us real quickly, and then we're gonna close it up for you. This man's got like a ton of things that he's in charge of and that he's running, but I'm gonna let him give him an opportunity to tell you a little bit about some of the things that he's working on and how to find Mr. Kevin. All right.
Yes. Actually, I do. I have a lot on my plate. I just teamed up with two powerful brothers, two other entities. One is the Mako Solar. We out there in Fallsville Mall on Donnell Drive, if anyone to know about that. It's a clothing collection studio, and actually I just became the manager and PR for Shamaku Amin. He has a reputation. He's a rapper. He's actually a designer, clothing designer, artistic designer, and you know, us three together, we find a lot in common because we actually not trying to just do the retail part of obtaining the revenue. We actually have gone into the arena of the direct sales business.
Okay.
All right, and that's what that's my path.
Okay.
It's all about educating people how, you know, you can find other means and ways to generate another income.
Okay.
Because as we recognize, the economy has shifted, and jobs are very scarce, and a lot of people want to believe like there's no other way really to really make a living.
Right.
Unless you break the law.
Right.
Or continue staying on the 9-to-5 lane, knocking up.
Well, where can we? So these are the primary, and then you actually assist people too in getting their businesses off the ground and entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Well, tell people how to find you, and you know, if they want your assistance and your help.
Well, you can actually go to Facebook, and when you go to Facebook, you can type in my name, Kevin, with my middle initial is M, and my last name is Hughes, Hughes. That's my Facebook page, and also I'm on LinkedIn, Kevin M. Hughes, and I'm on Twitter. I have a Twitter account, which is my network called BNP Network One.
Okay.
And let me just briefly share with you about what BNP Network One is all about. It's just a collective body of people who collectively come together to move towards a greater lifestyle of financial freedom, integrity, and things like that.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, listen, that is fantastic, man. I really enjoyed talking to you. I want to ask you a question off the cuff, totally. If somebody, you know, everybody out there has a twin. I actually have a twin, for real. But, you know, everybody will come up to me and say, oh, you look like this person, look like this person.
Boy.
You know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
And somebody that we all would recognize, who would people most likely say you look like?
Well, let me say
And
this.
even if you don't like it's considered a compliment. Tell me the truth.
I take all three of my likes as a compliment. Those who say I look like.
Okay.
One is Luther Vandross.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see
I got it.
And then
Keep going.
R. Kelly.
Okay.
And my man Bobby Brown.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. And I can't see the last one. I can see the first two, but I like that. He's not ashamed to say. Okay,
Yes.
now my last question. Well,
Yes.
who would you most like to model yourself by? If you could be in a room with somebody and kind of like have mentor you, who do you look up to? Who do you want to gauge your success after?
Ooh, can I give you a top three?
Okay, real quickly though.
Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, and God rest my man soul, Jim Rohn.
Wonderful. On that, I don't think we have anything else for this brother. We're going to let him go do what he do. Thank you all so much for joining me and this brother here today. This is Ronald Bird from Eastern Market in Washington, D.C. Style Speaks. We'll see you next time.